Hello there, this is Mario Tomic, and in this video you're going to learn the truth about all fat loss diets. So every single one of them, whether you're trying to lose fat with keto, paleo, low carb, high carb, cutting out specific food groups like dairy, whether it's intermittent fasting, whether it's the carnivore diet or some other extreme approach, this is going to be the fundamental. And if you don't get this thing, none of these will work. You're going to fail over and over and over again. You're not going to get to your result. And every single one of these did work for some people. All of these that I mentioned worked for some people in some cases. And what I'm going to share with you here, this is not some kind of mainstream conventional wisdom nonsense like electric ab stimulators. You got to get some supplements. You got to visualize it or whatever nonsense out there. This is the truth, okay? So we know they all work for some people in some cases. So what's really the deal here? Well, look, the way it works is you have to find the restriction that you personally are most comfortable with enduring for a long period of time and basically for the rest of your life. A way to eat that personally for you feels the least restrictive, because they all involve a restriction if they're going to work. So if they're going to work, they have to put you in a calorie deficit. Being in a calorie deficit, eating less is annoying. We're hungry. We're all hungry. We're all the time thinking about food. Food is everywhere. This is freaking hard, okay? Now, to find the restriction that works for you, this is really the name of the game. This is the truth. This is the truth that the guru that follows that one particular approach doesn't tell you. He's not going to tell you that his approach might not work for you. He's going to tell you that his approach is the ideal approach for you and for everybody else. Now, the truth is that there is some form of restriction and that it's going to take hard work. Now, the question is, which one of these feels like the least amount of hard work for you, and which one of these is the most sustainable for you, and which one of these could you see yourself following for the rest of your life? That's the real question. Personal example, when I tried keto, it sucked. I just couldn't do keto. I have clients right now who are doing keto. They love it. It doesn't mean that keto is good or bad. It's simply for me personally, I could not see myself doing that long term. I did it for a couple of months, fine. I could plow through with discipline, willpower. I made it work. I struggled. I made it work. I cut out some of my most favorite foods because you can't eat carbs. I went out with friends. I tried to figure out the menus. I worked really hard to sustain everything, to make it work. And I really tried. And I tried to make it work. That was years ago. And it just couldn't click. It was not sustainable for me. So keto for me personally, I felt very restricted. I felt like I was totally missing out on life. I felt like the gain was zero for me personally. Now there's other people that just love it, but for me, it sucked. It really did. And then I tried low carb afterwards. That also sucked. I just couldn't see myself doing that. And I find a different balance that worked for me. So I found a restriction that allows me to get down to 7, 8, 10% body fat without any problems. And this is now what I do with clients. We're finding the best approach that for them feels the least restrictive so they can sustain this and do it for the rest of their life. But there is an exchange that we all have to do. There is some suffering to get something. You're not going to get something for nothing. There is some restriction involved. There is no easy gains. There is no get lean, get to 10% body fat without struggle, without putting in the work. Like, that's really what you need to be looking at, what you need to face. And if you keep looking for a shortcut, if you keep looking for ways to avoid the work, you're not going to get it. You're not going to reach that goal. Now, what you can look for is a way that is the most sustainable for you to endure that restriction. So what is the approach that for you personally feels the least restrictive? That is a fair level of sort of like searching for that shortcut. But that's as far as it goes, right? Beyond that, it's just a waste, okay? You're not gonna get the result if you try to take someone else's approach or try to take someone else's form of restriction, what they find the best for them. And this is why copying other people's diets and approaches and taking other people's programs doesn't usually work out, because that might work for them, not for you. So really, what you need to come down to is, first off, face the reality. Restriction is needed. So there's going to be some form of restriction. To get in a calorie deficit, it sucks, all right? It sucks to eat less. It sucks because we're surrounded with food. Food is awesome. We love to go out and eat. We hang out with people when it's time to celebrate. There's always food. Food is everywhere, right? And it sucks that you can't eat as much as you want, whenever you feel like it, okay? It sucks, but that's what success looks like in any area, okay? There's some sacrifice for some gain. There is no gain without sacrifice. So there is some form of restriction. You gotta first face that, and then once you accept that reality, and then you commit to that, okay, that restriction is there. What form of restriction would personally work best for you? That's exactly what you need to find. That is the truth. That is the end game. There is no way to get something without giving something. So you got to give up some pleasure to get the result long term. It does get better as you get better at the skills, but it still involves work. You cannot find a shortcut around work. It just doesn't exist, right? It does not exist. You got to put in the work. I had to share this with you. I know there's a lot of gurus out there trying to promise you an easy way or an easy path or a supplement that is just gonna work without you doing the actual labor and putting in the effort, but it just doesn't exist. I've been doing this for almost a decade. I run a coaching company, for Christ's sake, so we have hundreds of people working with us. If there was a shortcut, I would have figured it out. Like really, if there was something like there's a shortcut, I would have figured it out by now. Like I care about this. I try to, one of my core values, one of the missions, what I do every day when I wake up in the morning is to help people figure this out, help people get healthy, help people feel happy, get stronger, and really take care of this area of their life. And sadly, there is no shortcut. There's gains to be made. There's work to be done. When you put in the work, the benefit is incredible and it's absolutely 1000% worth it.